Check this out. We got the story from Timcast.com.
Oh.
Okay, we got to be careful on this one because I don't know if I can read this quote from Joe Biden. It's against YouTube's rules. I'm going to read it anyway and tell you, before I do, Joe Biden, the president, is giving medical misinformation. If I were to assert what Joe Biden said, YouTube would delete this video as per YouTube's rules. Joe Biden falsely claims you're not going to get COVID if you have been vaccinated. That is not true. Absolutely not true. We've already seen breakthrough cases, people who are vaccinated getting sick. I think it was Bill Maher?
Bill Maher, yeah.
Yeah, he was vaccinated.
Oh,
They
yeah.
had to cancel his show. Now we have restaurants shutting down. Joe Biden, the president of the United States, is espousing medical misinformation, my friends. So this for Timcast.com. We say, I guess we say we now because not they. During a town hall on Wednesday night, President Biden claimed that people who have received vaccines will not get COVID-19 after fully vaccinated White House officials have recently been infected with the virus.
Yeah.
He said, quote, "The various shots that people are getting now cover that. You're okay. You're not going to get COVID if you have these vaccinations." That is wrong. That is wrong. YouTube. See, you heard us. We're saying Joe Biden is incorrect. And Joe Biden, the president, and the White House are giving medical misinformation and bad information. We're doing what you want us to do, YouTube censors. Biden's statements come after multiple fully vaccinated Democrat lawmakers and White House officials have become infected with the virus, beginning with the Texas Democrats who fled their state to stop legitimate democratic processes. The Texas Democrats first met with a Pelosi staffer who became infected. So now I think the latest we saw was like a handful of White House staffers. I don't think the Texas Democrats are going to give any more updates on how many of their delegation.
Yeah, they stopped.
Yeah, because it was like 11% of their delegation had already become, COVID positive. And now, Joe Biden goes on CNN and he gives this bunk information. I'm wondering if YouTube's going to ban Biden over this,
Twitter banned Trump. I mean, Trump was relentless, and I don't know how many tweets did he put out that were wrong.
Well, wrong about what?
I don't know, just misinformation, I guess would you say. Countless, 10, 20, 100, 1,000, I don't know. I wasn't following.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. You look at Twitter, and you look at Joe Biden, you look at Trump, and it's just like static. It's like looking at an old TV.
If you guys are out there listening, don't ban him for this. Don't ban Joe Biden for saying this thing. I mean, he acknowledged that maybe it's wrong, maybe put a thing on there that...
How long until Fauci comes out and actually says, oh, actually, CDC guidelines, Joe Biden was right the whole time, apparently. He's not. Don't ban us. Joe Biden is wrong. It's the weirdest thing. So there was a study from Oxford talking about a particular medication. I won't say because YouTube will ban us.
Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I emailed Google, in order to talk about this, do I have to say that Oxford is wrong and the science is wrong? And they were like, just make sure you provide adequate context. And I'm like, I don't believe you. The rules explicitly say that you can't say there's certain treatments for COVID. But Oxford came out with a study saying they may. And I'm like, I can't even talk about that. So I love the sheer absurdity that is YouTube. Back when all of this first started, I did a video about it. It was when everything was going crazy in Wuhan and it wasn't spreading anywhere else. And YouTube actually demonetized that. And they told me, no, you can't talk about this. And I was like, it's news. You know what I mean? It's really weird. And then a couple weeks later, okay, actually, yeah, you can't talk about it. And I was like, okay. So this is the problem with censorship that these big tech platforms do. By choosing, to ban certain information, it's very likely, because they're not experts, soon that information will actually turn out to be correct or important. And then they've banned it, and we got to go back and change it. Yeah, that's where we're at with communist America and big tech and YouTube. So I don't know.
The information war is upon us. I used to think that was more of an allegory, or is that the right word for it?
I would say it sounded like hyperbole when Alex Jones was first talking about it, but I think it's a good assessment that it is 100% an information war, that fifth generational warfare we're seeing now.
I love being able to have a debate about an idea where one person has bad information and the other person is able to correct them, and you can see the process, because then other people that have the bad information also get to be part of that process.
Right.
So that's why I'm turned off by censoring things that are wrong.
I want to make sure I'm being fair to Joe Biden, because it may not be that he's wrong. Okay. It may just be that he doesn't know how to put words together.
That is true.
Right. So,
yeah.
So in another story, I don't know if you guys watched the town hall.
Ugh.
This is from the Daily Mail. They say, quote, The experts say we know that this virus is, in fact, it's going to be, or, excuse me, Biden loses his thoughts on vaccines, flubs answer on his foreign policy work, and falsely tells town hall you won't get COVID if you have the shot. That is incorrect.
Can't watch.
So I think the dude just isn't with it. You know, I think most people realize that by now.
Help me.
Look, I mean, obviously we know what Joe Biden's strengths and weaknesses, particularly weaknesses, are right now at this advanced stage of his presidency. I mean, I was always of the belief that Kamala Harris is really running a lot of the show on Joe Biden, especially with regards to his racial policy, his equity policy, everything like that. I mean, say what you want about Joe Biden being ineffective, but all that does is that makes Kamala Harris and her agenda even more effective.
Well, so you know, your book is about meritocracy.
Yeah.
And I don't even, we're sitting here like, we know that you have this book and talking about this stuff, and I can only assume you probably don't like Joe Biden, but I don't know. I mean, maybe you love the guy, but you hate critical race theory.
Wow. I mean, look, Joe Biden, here's the thing. He did something. He was the candidate that was able, he was the only candidate the Democrats could run that was able to win back the Trump voters. That was able to win back some of the Trump voters. That's what I think about Joe Biden.
And he did. Isn't it crazy?
That's
Trump
so weird.
lost white men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Trump won more Hispanics, more Asians, more black people than he did in 2016. You know, this supposed racist, everything like that, won all of these groups more effectively. The only place that the exit polls show he lost was white men.
That was Joe Biden, I guess.
What do you think about regarding meritocracy? As you've written a book on it, and the fact that we have a government, or at least the top of our government, the president, where we vote people in based on popularity, not necessarily merit. So I want to know
well, there's merit in there, isn't there?
Not necessarily. You can have some dumb idiot that everyone loves that becomes president and doesn't have any idea what they're doing because he's the most popular.
Well, the thing is, that's what some people think about Trump. They think he's just a dumb idiot, but I think he has genuine merit. He is probably the most effective marketing salesperson that we have, that I've ever seen in my lifetime on the campaign trail.
You're saying that he is the greatest president of all time?
I'm saying he's the greatest marketing strategist of all time.
Yeah.
Do you think there's something we could do better with our government so that we could get more merit at the top?
Well, here's the thing about our political system, and this correlates kind of with meritocracy. I take different definitions of merit. So I don't think that the person who wins the president should be the person with the most degrees or the person who's supposedly done the most for our country or whatever. The person has to really connect with the people. And I think that our system, our political system, flawed as it is, still gives the people the ability to make judgments on themselves, to choose the president. And I think that's worth preserving.
So you think that the president's main job is to connect with the people, not so much to be the best or at any one thing, but
right. I mean, the president originally functioned. He has a cabinet, and that's where he brings in all of the best people and everything like that. That's his choice, but he has to be able to connect. He's the executive, right? The executive isn't necessarily the smartest person in the room. The executive is the person who can connect all of the dots and form it into a larger vision. That's what Trump did probably most effectively. He was able to create that vision, make America great again, keep America great. 2016, that resonated with a segment of the populace that the Republican Party had historically not been able to resonate with. So I think that is meritorious. That's very meritorious.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the one problem was that merit can go into a bunch of different directions. Mm-hmm. Was Trump able to rally people and win an election? Yep. Does it show merit? Of course. Less, Hillary Clinton had less. She lost. However, when it came to actually administrating, Trump didn't have it. And that's why he ended up, for a variety of reasons, I'll say, one of the reasons, he ended up not winning a re-election, though we'll see what happens next once people realize that Biden was actually the worst choice. But one of the problems was the people he surrounded himself with. Mark Milley, for instance. Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is a guy that Trump should have gotten rid of a long time ago. Dr. Fauci. Trump didn't have, he should have fired these people.
John Bolton.
Right.
Oh, man, he hired the guy.
He still showed his political neophyte instincts when he chose Rex Tillerson as his Secretary of State. I mean, they obviously could not connect from the very start. He started to be a little better towards the end in terms of his administrative picks. But you could tell at the very beginning he was too hewn to the Republican Party and their instincts instead of being able to go with what his vision was. And that harmed him because he only has 4 years. You only have 4 years as president. That's nothing.
Yeah.
That's no time at all. Xi over here does not have 4 years. Xi Jinping does not have 4 years. He has 30 years to do whatever he wants and remake China in his own
Is
vision.
that how
He's
long it
doing
lasts?
that.
30 years?
No, I mean, until you get deposed or you die or you retire.
Oh, they get elected for life?
You don't get elected for life,
Or
but
appointed, is that what
you
it is?
can extend your supposed constitutional authority however long you really want to.
Are they appointed by the party?
They are, yes.
And it's like a group of people at the top of the party decide?
Yes. Yeah. That's it's a totally different system in China than it is in the U.S.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. If you want to see the full show, come back to this channel, youtube.com/TimcastIRL, Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., where you can leave comments and super chat, and we actually will read your comments on the show. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and if you want exclusive members-only content, segments you can't get anywhere else, go to timcast.com, become a member, and we even have full bonus episodes. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.